What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Injection of Inspiration, where every single Saturday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, inject you with your daily dose of motivational advice, helpful tips, and all that other great positive stuff. I know for a fact, I've said this before, but I did want to make its own video about it, that every day is a good day, and it's up to you to make it great. And that's not a quote from a certain person, I just like saying that, because I feel like it's true. Every day that you're on this earth is a good day. There's a lot of people out there who have since passed away that don't get that opportunity to live life to the fullest. You do. If you're listening to this, you're still alive, obviously, then go out there and fucking live your life and have a good day. There's going to be things that happen around you that you can't control or predict or prevent, and it might lead you to having a bad day. We all have bad days, but those miserable times, guess what? During those times, you don't have to be miserable. And we all deal with certain things. There's people who have depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And obviously, it's hard to control medical stuff like that. But you can still do everything in your power to have a good day. You have to put mind over matter and focus on the positive. And one good way to do that, which, again, I've said all of this before, but one thing I did want to focus on today is that something that I used to do and still do from time to time, but I feel like I haven't done it for a reason. That a few years ago, I started it, I think, in 2014, but largely in 2015, what I started doing, maybe at the end of 2015 going into 2016, but what I would always do was that whenever I would have like a super spectacular day, like a day that I thought was worth noting or discussing. I mean, sometimes I would write about it in like a document, like a journal entry or whatever you want to call it. But even, without even doing that, because that obviously takes time. And if you don't have the time, it's hard to do that type of thing and document every little thing that happened in your life. And I used to do that. Sometimes I would create like a calendar with every day on it and put down what I did on that day, the most notable things, like I hung out with this person, I wrote this article, I interviewed that person, that type of thing. And it got to be too much and I just kind of fell out of it. But what I started doing more often than not, starting in 2014, 2015, 2016, was writing down the days that I thought were significant in that year. And I think in 2014, 2015, I might be wrong. I think I started in 2014, was that I wrote down a handful of days I thought stood out as special. 2015, there were a bit more days. 2016, there were like twice as many days that I thought stood out as special, that I was extra happy or something great happened. And I kind of fell off of doing that by the end of 2016. And I think the reason that it happened was not because I wasn't having good days anymore, or that I wasn't having great days or super spectacular, memorable days, was that every day started to become super spectacular. And every day started to become great and memorable. So I just kind of stopped doing it. And that was after I kind of got a girlfriend. I didn't really need to I didn't really need to document that type of stuff anymore. And I still do document certain life events and stuff that happens and this person I met or this thing I did and stuff like that. But I don't write down certain dates anymore just because it led me to the point where I was having great days every single day, not every once in a while. And that was at a time when I wasn't happy all the time. And I was still relatively happy, but there were definitely down points. And I was trying to fight that by looking at certain days and finding the good in every day. And I think that's what eventually led to me to becoming even happier now than I was a year or two ago, especially 2 or 3 years ago. That key right there, that little, I don't know what to call it. That little solution, I suppose, would be the best way to call it. Would be the best thing to name it, is writing down days that stand out in your mind as memorable, super spectacular, great, something awesome happened. Definitely do that, especially if you're dealing with depression or anxiety or whatever. Those things help a lot when you write down the good that happened in each day. Someone actually reached out to me about 4 or 5 years ago, and I still keep in contact with this person every once in a while, definitely not regularly. But this girl had DM me on Twitter asking me and that was around the point I was still doing my PMA stuff, positive mental attitude and whatever. She was asking me I see that you're a positive person and all these great things are happening for you. And I was talking to someone at that point and I just landed something with ABC Family, and all this other, which I'll probably talk about at some point down the road. That's a story in and of itself. And all these great things were happening one after another around that time for me in early 2013, March of 2013. So she's like, what's the key here? does they, like, how is all this stuff happening for you? And I feel like I told her, like, you just answered your own question. Like, a positive attitude prepares you for a positive experience. And I've talked about that before here on the show. And then it happened and helped me a lot in early 2016 when I was very stressed out all the time and worried and anxious and all this other shit about what was going to happen after I was done with college and all this other stuff that I was dealing with at that point in time in early 2016. But being positive led to positive things happening. Now, if you're positive all the time, that's not to say everything is going to go great. Bad things are bound to happen at some point, but sharing that positivity, it's contagious, and it's bound to come back around. What goes around comes around is the old saying, and it could not be any more true. But I answered her question by telling her that she answered her own question. I told her to, be positive, try to stay positive no matter how difficult it might be. And depending on your living situation or what you're going through in life, it might be difficult. I understand that. Again, it's easier said than done. I absolutely recognize that. But then she got back to me a little while later, a few months later after the fact, after she reached out to me, saying that, what, I started writing down the good parts of each day, the highlights of each day. And that helped me a lot to look at the positive, and it would help me become less stressed in taking tests and studying and all this other school. It was a lot of school-related stuff. But what she did was write down the good things that happened to her in that day. And if nothing good happened to her, then, what I suggest to people that follow that same formula, if nothing quote-unquote good happens to you in a day or anything that you perceive to be good, or it's a relatively uneventful, boring day, then make something good happen. Write down something good that you did today, something good that you did for someone else, or something that you felt helped contribute to the world, even if it's on a smaller scale. Write down that type of thing too, and it's also going to make you feel better. Don't do good things just to make yourself feel better, obviously, but it helps, and it's better than feeling sorry for yourself as well. So again, every good day is a good day. It's up to you to make it great. So find the good in every day. You wake up every day. It's a clean slate. That's why I look forward to waking up every single day, because it's an exciting opportunity to experience something new, to do something you might not do tomorrow and you didn't do yesterday, but you can do it today. Today is the moment. There's no better time to do anything than right fucking now. So keep that in mind. Have a good day. And when I say that to people, I truly, absolutely mean it. Like, have a good day. Hope everything goes well for you. But not only that, like I said, you wake up every single day, and it's not yesterday, it's not tomorrow, it's right now. Nothing good has happened yet. You just woke up. You might see something when you first wake up, like a text that wasn't a good text, or it was a great text, or whatever, and that might kind of set the tone for your day. But don't let the bad things, determine whether it's a good or a bad day. You determine whether it's going to be a good or bad day. And if you really want it to be a good day, it's going to be a good day. Do good things. Do awesome things for other people. Do awesome things for yourself, and you're bound to feel better at some point or another. But like I said, the thing I keep on going back to is writing down the highlights of each day, or at least the days that you feel are super special. And then by the end of the year, you'll see these dates start to slowly rack up and up. Like I said, there were at least like 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 at most in 2014. 2014 wasn't a bad year for me, but at certain points it was. But overall, it was an all right year. 2015 was a lot better. There were a lot more days on that calendar by the time 2015 came to a close. And then by the end of 2016, there were twice as many dates on it. So you never know what's going to happen once you start writing down the little special happenings and moments and milestones. It's going to make you feel better and help you realize that there is a lot more good in this world. There's a lot more good in your own life than you probably think there is. So just keep that in mind. That's my own 2 cents. That's my own daily dosage for you here today. If you don't want to take your dosage, that's okay. So anyway, guys, thank you for checking out the video. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. I'll be back next Saturday with another all-new episode of Injection of Inspiration. In the meantime, in the between time, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.